Hello everyone and welcome back. So Creative Assembly have decided to release some news today. The faction screen for Neferata, which is pretty interesting because now we get to see the faction effects, the lord effects. We know the faction name, which is just Lamian Sisterhood. We can all expect that. They changed the color of the icon. Well, changed it around a little bit, which is nice. This is going to be kind of cool. I like the intro. But yeah, there's a few things that I want to talk about here. So the starting army seems pretty good overall. You know, you start off with the new vampires. There's the FLC Halberdier unit, which is nice. Then 2 units of skeletons, a unit of bats, and a unit of black knights. So a little bit of a mix overall. So for faction effects, it says faction leader legendary vampire. So I guess this is now a different thing. There might be like a distinction between other normal, they already had like unique skill lines, so that's a bit weird. Then obviously Web of Power and Vampire Covenants are their new mechanic that I talked about yesterday. Hero action success chance plus 20% for all characters. We know that hero actions are going to be very important here. Upkeep minus 10% for Lamian handmaiden units for all armies. I like that. The brand new units that are coming out with Neferata, so you should be incentivized to use them a little bit more. And then finally, can gain access to a small number of Tomb King units after reconquering Lamia. So I wonder how this is going to work. Is it going to be just like you can only recruit them from Lamia, or is it going to focus around just being tied to the general mechanic with Raised Dead? Either way, it's nice. A hybrid faction. Hopefully it's better than Arkan, because they're saying small here, so it might not be too good. Now, we do know that her capital does have access to Garrison Upshatti. So if she can get access to like Skeletal Bowman, Upshatti, and like Screaming Skull catapults, that would be kind of cool. We don't know what she's getting, and it's a bit of a shame. It would be nice if they could kind of just say, but maybe they're still waiting, because keep in mind it says here, you know, it's from a pre-release version of the game. Some stuff can change around, given like Games Workshop or any other permissions that's needed. So yeah, that's fine. Then Lord effects, kind of basic, I guess. You know, there's an ability called Bastet, which is her pet cat. That was a little bit of a throwback to that very old miniature, I guess. Then enemy hero action success chance minus 50% when in own territory. Not too bad, I guess. It doesn't really mean too much when heroes aren't really too active. Leadership plus 10 for embedded Lamian heroes, own army. And melee defense for embedded Lamian heroes, own army. Those are all plus 10. That's not too bad. At the end of the day, it means that they're going to crumble less and a little bit better in combat. We've seen their stats overall, they're duelists, so it's good to have a little bit of extra melee defense. I do find the last thing quite curious. Obviously, we know that she's incentivized to go back to Lamia. So there's the return to Lamia, immune to mountain and desert attrition for own army. I don't know if I like the idea of just her, you know, because like you'd want to bring in maybe another army for support and the rest. It very much depends on how you're going to push down, but keeping in mind that you're going to want to push through the mountains anyway, and it depends. So I'm looking at it from an early campaign perspective. You can go down through the mountains, the World's Edge Mountains, which there would be a decent amount of attrition, or you can push in through the Darkland, go through Nagashazar, and then still end up in mountains too. Well, it's not even just that. I mean, given the fact that you're starting in the Silver Pinnacle, it's just going to be a lot of mountains everywhere. So, well, I don't know. Maybe there's something, maybe there's like a skill that you can kind of get to just improve the other army's capabilities. But I guess we'll wait and see. Either way, it's kind of cool. I like what I've seen. The intro splash video thing is cool. There's not much to say, I guess, until we start getting some more news. But apparently they're going to do a stream tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get a bunch of information. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. Have a good day, guys. Bye.